Hello, for a couple of days now I've been trying to get Ending 3 at difficulty 15 with 4 stars only on stream. You may have caught one of them. Yesterday I managed to have a squad that should be able to tackle Ending 3 with a bunch of really powerful items, but instead I died to the Ending 1 boss. In this video I'll go over what led to my death and what I could have done to prevent it. There were many mistakes throughout the run that accumulated to this boss, but I'll only focus on the boss fight itself. At the start it's a bit difficult to open, we need to get rid of the ice, and my health was very reduced. Usually I use Pinecone on the left side to break open the tiles, but even with all the items I had, on difficulty 15, she took too long to break the tiles open, and I basically was stuck not being able to deploy stuff, since all of my operators get 2-shot, and I need Perfumer in a more forward spot. This caused a big loss of DP, which delayed everything else later. Here is what I should have done. So, normally when we play this map, I deploy Pinecone on the left side, but what I need Pinecone to do is open up a bunch of range tiles for me, and she doesn't get her bonus damage on these tiles if she's over here. A much better tile for me to use would be this one in the back, that's free to begin with. If we have her on this tile here, we could have done something like this. Deploy Myrtle first, then Pinecone, then Jaya to tank a stray hit, maybe kill this tile over here, and then replace Jaya with Bubble. This would have let me open up all of these tiles, since Pinecone would have been safe for later, and I could have deployed Perfumer much earlier. Because I didn't go with this setup, I ended up being too slow and then leaked a bunch of enemies. The 4 leaks were caused by the earlier DP issues with the range tiles, so they're not worth looking at. After I killed the first 23 enemies, or more like 19 of them and leaked 4, there is a kill gate before the stage continues here. I could have used this to redeploy all my operators. The more enemies will not spawn until the boss goes below 50% health, so I could have safely killed that shield guard on the left and then redeployed all my operators to better positions. We are working with only 7 deploy limit, which was unfortunate, but it should be solvable. The key problem was this: all of my casters had very low health and they would always get one-shot by the boss. And I also couldn't have my melee operators tank the thorns from the boss, because then we would leak. However, Susuru, Perfumer, Shiryuki and Pinecone were all capable of taking hits, so I should have just killed that shield guard, or leaked him even, and then redeployed everything. In an order where I had the casters first, Click and Indigo, on a single row, so they don't get hit, and then I had 2 other operators tank. Ethan should have been placed on the tile currently occupied by Cutter, and the snow tile behind Cutter should have been cleaned up, so I can have Jaya there. This is what ultimately led to my defeat, because I couldn't handle all of the enemies on the right side. Granted, I also struggled on the left side, but this was because I didn't use my casters enough. My casters were by far my highest DPS operators, but I didn't properly set up to be able to make use of them. The 2 important lessons from this run were that I should consider what tiles I actually need to open before I start deploying my operators, to make sure I do it as efficiently as possible, and that you can use the kill gate at 24 enemies to set up your operators better for the later part of the fight. There were many other smaller mistakes throughout the run, but I think these were my 2 most critical errors. I made this video mostly for me, so next time I get to this fight on difficulty 15, I do it better, but I hope you can get something out of it too. Bye bye.